شو أبوتي ونسي
This is the sound of our life in
Sure.
So for us, before the 7th, before the 23rd of October, a beautiful place. A good place for young family. A lot of young family want to live here. A good education. And a lot of the people came to this kibbutz. 25 years ago, it was something like 500 people. In the morning of the 7th, we are almost 1,000 people. It's a big kibbutz. It's the second large kibbutz in this area. And the terrorists knew it. And this is one of the reasons that we got also one of the biggest hits. 64 members and residents of this kibbutz been murdered and 19 been kidnapped. And the story of Father is story of hard fight that our civil defense unit done. A lot of our people that live here fight for their life. I know a few people that went outside with a knife and tried to fight. I know people that fight bare hands against terrorists with weapons. So it's a story that we lost in the end, but a lot of us staying alive because we fight. The story of Baraza started in 629, a barrage of missiles. 100 of them fall on this kibbutz. But unfortunately, we are get used to it because since 2001, someone shoot on us a missile every week, every day, every 2 weeks. The first member of this kibbutz been killed by a mortar bomb inside the kibbutz in 2008. 2009, my office demolished by a mortar bomb 5 minutes after I left. And continue. My house demolished in 2014. When my wife and myself with our dogs are inside the safe room. So even that we get used to it.
Sure.
But nothing compare and make you ready to work actually here in the 7th. 100 of bombs. The Iron Dome. You know what is Iron Dome? Doesn't help. It was too much for her, and they start to fall. And we understand that we have to run to the safe room. Remember, it's Saturday, 6:29. Most of our family still sleep. My wife and myself sitting outside in our porch to drink coffee. And it stopped. When it starts, sorry. I don't remember the name in English right now.
I'm there.
Two power shooter. Power glider. Land inside the kibbutz. Two people saw them. One of them is a photographer for the biggest newspaper in Israel. He take a picture, take his 3-year-old child and start to run. The terrorists land near him and kill him immediately.
Sure.
The 3-year-old child was staying alive and she ran away. She ran away to the house of the second guy that saw. He is part of the civil defense unit. So he's been outside, he saw the girl, takes the girl, give him to his wife, and went to fight. His wife kidnapped with her three kids, and another kid that belonged to someone else. When the terrorists land, they understand that inside the house that they killed the husband. They got more people. They went inside. The wife puts the kid in a cupboard and wait for them outside. So they killed her, but they didn't touch the kid. They didn't find it. That's our morning. Less than 15 minutes after that, another 86 terrorists came from two directions, from the east and from the west. And the terrorists that come from the west run immediately inside the kibbutz and start to kill. The groups that come from the east run to the armory and try to block our guys, our civil defense unit, to take the weapon. So we walk to the armory, we start there, but before, I must say, we are still in a fight zone area. If you see me do something weird, like running or lay down on my belly, cover my head, please do the same. Try not to run. This is the most dangerous time that we are running. If something happens, usually we fall down, we wait a few seconds, and we continue. It doesn't happen a lot. The last time was 3 weeks ago, but we are less than 2 kilometers from Gaza, so it still can happen. If you got any question, of course, please don't hesitate. Yes, please.
So,
Das ist das
how
Urwald
to
Bombe.
do this? But we in South Africa are not fighting a war, but we're fighting an internal war. So, where my parents live, there's a lot of killing,
A lot of
killing
killing.
around us, people shooting each other. And personally, me, I have armed my parents in my house.
Okay.
Meneer Paisani, we are 2 kilometers away from the Gaza Strip. If you can hear closely, you will still hear the bombs falling right here close to us. There's a lot of safe rooms put up. As the gentleman explained that a bomb can go off any time. We must just fall flat on the floor. But yeah, we are in a war zone now, coming to try and understand what's really went on. The media and the propaganda only shows you what they want to show you. They don't show you how the terrorists has come and killed innocent children, innocent wives, innocent mothers. The reign of Hamas has also caused, did you know that there has not been an election in the last 20 years for Palestine because of Hamas? Did you also know Hamas uses strategically children and women in their fight? So when the Israelis come, the defense force is in front, where Hamas puts children and women in front, and they portray the image that that there's a genocide occurring, but they are not portraying that they are putting the children and the women there strategically. They're doing it strategically. So yes, we are going to go through a lot of these now. We are going to see what's going on. We are going to see what's happening. Please listen closely. You will hear the bombs falling here. So yes, please stay tuned. If you guys cannot hear anything, please let me know. But yeah, we are here to show you guys the absolute truth of what has been going on here in the Strip of Gaza. We are about 1.5 kilometers away from the Gaza Strip. We will be entering the Gaza Strip very soon. Nipaizani.
All over the world.
I think you are quite right of what I want to get to.
I asked my wife, do you want a weapon in my house? Because I know to use weapons. I can put in my bedroom a shotgun, an M16 in this one, every weapon on my roof. Do you want it? She said no. Nothing helps. When you got so many terrorists in your kibbutz, if you went outside with weapons, you shoot 2 magazines, and then 10 people come and shoot you down. My wife know me. I went outside with a knife several times. So if I got gun, I was much sure that I can do everything. probably I don't talk with you right now. So,
Are you right about how many terrorists were in the kibbutz?
we start with 6, it's grow up to 86, just a second, and in the end we got almost a 500 terrorists. So,
Yeah. 500.
Running around the country.
just a second.
Is there still people living here as they move back, or is it just empty now?
From the 1,000 people that live here before the 7th of October, 14 people came back. 14 people live here right now, and we got young people that decide not to go to the army for 1 year and come to volunteer here. 14 people, and we got army that are how I know. We've been here, we got this kibbutz, and we got another group of people that almost intention. They decide that they don't, okay, let's stop the life and come to volunteer to help this area. So, in the normal night, we are almost 60 people that live here. We start to go, and again, if you have any questions, please.
How to respond to the question. But whether you imagine it's something like that would be possible. In other words, there's no need to be armed because it was inconceivable that people would come in on that scale. It's just inconceivable.
Yeah. No one thought about it. That's amazing because that's exactly the reason that we pay to the army to thought about something that you can thought about. Doesn't help.
It's just coming from South Africa. I need to ask a question. In my country, I don't trust my police. I don't even trust my army.
Yeah, but
That's the point. It's up to people to
I must say, I don't know something. Been there once for 24 hours because my flight have to land there because something happened in the engine. So I don't know nothing about South Africa. I know what, of course, I know about the apartheid. I know about Nelson Mandela. I know the basic. I understand why you don't trust the police. I understand. But I am. And now I'm using a language that we're not supposed to use. A white man in Israel. I am here. All Israel belong to me. Yeah? The government do what I want. The police supposed to do what I want. Because I'm the alpha man in South Africa. If I was white in South Africa, maybe I was an alpha man also. But to be, it's hard to be a black in South Africa. It was hard. And I hope that now it's easier. And I hope that 10 years from now it will be easier. And I hope that the democracy works. And from what I understand, it's still doesn't. Still most of the land belongs to the white.
Yes.
And still more of the power. If I was a black man in South Africa, I was kill everyone. No? I was kill everyone. That's
I just want there to be time to see everything.
yeah,
That's all.
yeah. I just said because how I know it because my father 60 years, 80 years tried to kill the English to control this country. That's it.
But
So-
sorry, before you move, there were dozens who were working in this kibbutz. Is this one of the kibbutz where you had workers from Gaza working with you over the years?
We don't have workers from Gaza since 2001 when the rockets started to fall here. It doesn't make sense that they shoot on us and we bring people to tell them where to shoot. But still we got people that were here from Judea and Samaria and more or less they done the same.
The Samaria is the West Bank.
Yeah, the West Bank. Let's start the war.
Hey, these bombs are shaking. Cheers. So I don't know if you can hear in the background the bombs that are falling. It's falling about 2 kilometers away from us. But yeah, we are here to show you guys the truth. We are here to show you from our point of view, how things are being perceived in Paisani.
It was too many soldiers down here. This is the army. That's the place that we stay. The weapon is here. So the terrorists come from this direction, and our civil defense come from this direction, and immediately they start to fight. On this grass, 4 people of our people been killed. Where we standing right now? Shachar, Aviv and Nadav fought here. It was all the roof, all the flat roof around.
So how heartbreaking is this? This is the LGBTIQ couple that has been kidnapped. Not too sure if they're still alive. But yeah, as you see the yellow is in solidarity. That we want them home. So you'll see some of us wearing the yellow bands.
Our municipal man tried to get to help them and get killed on his porch on the way. So 7:30 in the morning, our civil defense unit doesn't exist. 7 killed, another 2 wounded, another 4 left with no ammunition, and only 1 guy fight here under the houses. Fight against the terrorists until his wife call him and say, listen, we got terrorists inside the house. I'm under the bed with our kids.
Oh.
Come and help us. He tried to get there, wounded on the way. Terrorists couldn't find the wife, so they touched the house.
Oh.
The wife ran away and hid in a shade for the next 12 hours. I'm talking about 7:30, 8:30 in the morning. It's only start. And already we got 37 people that get murdered.
Like that.
And it's continued. Continued. More terrorists arrived. 8:30 we got 250 terrorists inside the kibbutz.
Yeah.
They move from house to house. They choose which house to go in. And if they go inside the house, if they go inside the house and they open the safe room, they can kill you. A lot of the fighting was on the end because you can lock from inside the door. From inside the safe room, you can lock the door because it's against the bomb. And if something happens, someone from outside can go inside and help you. So you have to hold the handle. And if you heard many stories, one story come back all the time, how you fight on the handle. You hold the handle 10 hours, 20 hours, 30 hours, 36, doesn't matter. You hold the handle. You don't give to no one, but the door, it's not against bullets, so they can shoot through the door. So sometimes they win, sometimes we win.
So this is what we call a shelter. This is where they run into when the bombs and the missiles hit. This is like a safe room, so you are safe. If any bombs or anything hit, you have to run into one of these. Divan, can you give more information here, please? Tell them we are live here on current situation. Tell them where we now and what's this building called?
It's an armory.
Armory. So
Yeah,
you
this
run.
was an armory. So all the guns and ammunition and stuff like that was stored in here.
Okay.
But the army, right? In 6 o'clock in the evening, we got enough soldiers. Almost 1,000 soldiers in the kibbutz, but no one to command. So the army say to some of the officer, you are the command of for us and start to do to tell the soldier what to do. And then they start to evacuate all the civilians. We are almost 750 people, civilians, here in this day. And they start to take us neighborhood by neighborhood. The kibbutz built on 3.5 neighborhood. The ones that close to the gates been taken since 9 o'clock in the evening until 3 o'clock in the morning of Sunday. Another neighborhood in the west, more or less in the same time. This neighborhood, that's the closest to Gaza. The army arrived only in 11 o'clock at night, and only in 9 o'clock in the morning we start to evacuate the people. I myself been taken out in 11 o'clock in Sunday, and the last one been taken out in 6 o'clock in the evening of Sunday. And that's it. The kibbutz is empty for civilians, and the terrorists and the army start to fight, continue to fight for another 2.5 days until the kibbutz came back to be belong back to Israel. Right now, after a year in our hotels, most of the kibbutz are in another kibbutz not far away from here in Ruchama. We start to renovate and build all what demolished, but it's going to take at least 1.5 until 2 years.
May I ask, how did you survive?
Yeah, I'll talk about it later. Okay?
What's the right you're gonna do then?
I'm talking about in another place that we got all the sign together.
Okay.
So we continue to walk. Don't try this walk. It's been in the same place for almost 4 or 5 years.
I try it. Try it. Try it. Why do women live longer than men?
So they don't take risks.
This is so sad. This is so sad. My heart is in pieces.
Counselor, how's it? How's the experience?
Very emotional.
Can you hear the bombs falling right now?
Yes, we are. You can hear it clearly.
Can you hear the drones?
Yes, yes, we can. It's less than 2 kilometers away from this kibbutz, where bombs are falling at the moment. To constantly live in this fear, it gets a normal to the people that's living here. It's becoming their normal.
It is close. But right now the Air Force doesn't work. It's working only in the night. Then it's a big bomb. Right now it's a small one.
Small bomb.
I just want to show you the difference between the life before the missile and the life after the missile. You can see these 2 buildings. They are a kindergarten. You see the left one, big windows, no fence, kids can come and go and have a good time. In the right, it's a shelter. And inside we got another shelter for the kids. And then we got a fence, because we got between 7 to 15 seconds to react. So you can give to the kid to go wherever they like. And to live in a kibbutz, this is exactly what we've done. We're running barefoot wherever we like. We always feel safe. And since 2003, they got a fence and they have to be inside a shelter most of the day. This is how our life changed. I know people that didn't take shower more than a minute for 21, 22 years.
Yeah.
I know people that if they want to take a good shower, they went outside of this area. I know people that didn't walk to the toilet. They have to be out. I know people that say, it's enough, I can't live here. So, because it was a hard life. You see the graffiti on the wall over there? When the army arrived, we didn't understand how the kibbutz built because we got no street names. So they start to write the number of the houses on the house, so all the units that work here together can speak in the same language. And after that, after 4 days of fighting, when the fight finished, a special unit that clear all the explosion and all the bombs that the terrorists brought to here, came to any house of this kibbutz and clear it. And then they put a diamond with a C, with a date, 11 of the 10th. That's the day that they clear the house. And on the way out, on the way out, they put on the wall a V4. A V4 is for the victim. How many victims you can find in this house? We still don't know who is who because don't know who is the victim because a lot of the terrorists come with the IDF uniform.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We still don't know who is who.
You mean IDF uniform or just social?
No, IDF uniform because in the last 40 years they came to work here. We send them work there. We send them the fabric to make the uniform. So they left. A few of them they can steal, they can buy, but they use IDF uniform. So we don't know who is who. And then the people that's their job to clean a disaster area from all what left from the human being came here and start to clean. We got in Israel organization that's called Zaka. It's a very Orthodox Jewish. That's what they do. They volunteer to come to a disaster area, car crash, or terrorist attack, and they clear because by the Jewish law you have to collect all what left from the human being and bring it to bury. So they came after we cleaned the houses from down. And you see on the door, you see a white and blue sticker, and they say that this house is clear. They clean the house from all what left, and that's it. The house is clear.
They only go into houses where someone is killed, right?
No, they went any house, but it's working only.
The sticker is where someone is killed.
No.
No? Okay.
My house. No one can die inside my house.
Okay.
But few people die on my front of my house. So they check any house.
So the number 4 there,
419.
419. How many people died in that house?
No. 419. In this house, you see in the red V4.
Yes.
That's 4 people get killed in this house.
Exactly.
419 is the number of the unit that search the house.
But the red is the number of people that died.
Yeah, it can be
Inside,
red.
outside.
It can be any. They start in red, but then the spray finished, so they change the. And you can see here. It's hard to see it over there. Except for over this building, you can see. You see the circle with the dot. Yeah. It says that at least one of the people that was killed in this house is an Israeli. It can be a soldier, it can be civilian. We still don't know. If you want to know each house how many they get killed, you have to go to Zaka and ask him. I ask about 2 houses because this is my neighbor. It's always when it's before I understand that most of the situation that it was 3 terrorists and 1 Israeli because terrorists work in a group of 3. So if you get inside the house, you kill all of them.
And there's some terrorists who also killed him now.
Bombs that fell. Where's the damage from the bombs? Because a bomb is an explosion.
So you see this house?
Yeah.
You want to see the hole in the wall?
Oh.
A lot of the houses that have been damaged have been flat. You see the fence, it doesn't exist. Where we stand it before the red house, it doesn't exist. This house is amazing story. An 85-year-old lady sitting inside the safe room. And the bomb fell through the roof. And all the debris fall on the safe room door. When the terrorists came to take her, they couldn't move the roof because it was too heavy. That's the way that she stay alive.
Yeah.
So a lot of the damage you can see are because most of the this house fell into grass. And they don't. No. But in a second you ask me the same question and you got the answer. It's keeping you alive. The government provide houses. Most of our people right now in a kibbutz is called Muhammad. It's not far away from here, but it's far away enough. We're standing here because when the terrorists came from the west, they used the road, the street, and run on them and kill on the way. So we got one street after this fence and one street on the road that we just stand, and they're running and killing. In Fa'aza we can see a 4 district. To be a district in Fa'aza, at least 10 people get killed on this street. And it's a small street. 5 houses, 7 houses, that's it. But when they arrive here, 7:30 in the morning, they start to celebrate. Because they came to kill Jews and they succeed. A huge succeed. Already they killed 20 on this neighborhood by itself. And that's time that we start to understand that we got terrorists in the kibbutz. We start to hear Arabic. And when you start to hear Arabic here, you are in a deep shit. This is my house. I'm spending this time in this safe room. This is the safe room. We go inside in 6:30 in the morning and start to close everything, but we still don't understand what happened. Only in 7:04 we got a message that we got terrorists in kibbutz, but we still don't understand because we don't know how many. But when we got a message that we got terrorists in the kibbutz, we thought in a second someone going to tell us what to do. But the terrorists killed the lady that's supposed to do that. Then they killed her husband. So no one can talk. So we still don't know. And 7:30 we start to hear Arabic. And when we're sitting in my wife and myself inside the safe room, I got a huge dog. I ask him to guard on the door. I hold the handle, and if something happened, attack the man will go inside. We know how to do it. And my wife going to be under the bed. That's the situation. And then 5 minutes after that, my next door neighbor, you can see all the houses are two apartments, call me and asking me if I can find his wife.
Sure.
Because he wasn't at home. And I say, yes, I'm going outside to find your wife. And I'm taking with me a pocket knife.
Sure.
And went outside. And I find Mira, her name is Mira. I find Mira after she's been murdered.
Sure.
And now I have to come back to my wife and to tell her that her best friend been murdered.
Sure.
Exactly. But 10, 20 minutes after that, another friend of mine asked me if I can find his mother that lives across the road. That's the lady that I asked sugar when I don't have enough. And I went outside again. And from my porch I can see her porch. And second before I go there, I see 3 terrorists on the porch. And I see also the leg on the ground, and I understand that she already been murdered.
Hey.
Again, they come back. But now I don't tell to my wife nothing. We are hiding. I have to hold the end of my wife hiding under the bed. And we're waiting. And everyone that we know call us and tell, don't worry, the army is on the way. Because we was sure that the army is on the way. No one arrived. After 1 hour, it started to be a little bit quiet. I decided that I'm going to find a way to run away because I thought that the far side of the kibbutz it will be a safety area. I didn't know that already the terrorists over there also. When I went outside on the cliff, I see 3 people with the IDF uniform. I'm going to call them. And a second before I call them, I see that they got AK-47. This is a rifle that we don't use. So I understand that they are terrorists. And that's it. I understand that they are back to my safe room. And all the night, I got terrorists on the porch. Open my fridge and drink my coke. I got terrorists on the roof. I got terrorists near my window. I got terrorists in this porch. I got terrorists over there. I can hear them. Near the window, I can smell them smoke.
Sure.
Nothing happened. I can start to hear the fight, but you can do nothing. And only in 5 o'clock, my house started to shake, and I got 2 tanks here. I said, okay, I will talk with the tanks. And when I went outside, a few missiles been shot, and that's it. The tanks drive away, and I'm still by myself with my wife inside the safe room. The army come to take us in 9 o'clock. They come, they take this family. They tried to take us, but it was too, the fire was too heavy. They couldn't stop to take us. And they came back in 11. And they put tank here, that's shooting non-stop. They put 2 armed vehicles that block my house. And that's the only way that we go out, under fire. I've been under fire, believe me. My wife never been under fire. But to be under fire in your own house, it's a total different game. Anyway, we went inside the safe room. We didn't see nothing in this time. We was absolutely in shock. We didn't see that this house, another neighbor of mine, get fired from few missiles. 2 people, there was murder inside this house. Family of 5 with a 3 weeks baby. start to suffocate inside the safe room from the smoke, and they have to decide outside maybe 50% alive live, or to stay inside 100% die. After a few times that they open a little bit and saw terrorists, they open once and it was empty, they run away and hide for 4 or 5 hours in a bush, sit around until the army comes to take them. This is the story of this area. For many hours, if you've done everything right, you still get this skill. They control this area. But when we've been taken to the petrol station, we spread all over the country. Slowly, we've been collected to a few hotels in Shfaim, near Netanya, and in Tel Aviv. But my wife and myself, we decided that we do not want to leave the house. So the army put us in the petrol station, and we decided that a few hours after that, we go back to the house. We couldn't do that because the army didn't give us permission. So we went to my sister, and we've been almost 8 weeks outside of this area. And in December 23, we decided it's enough. And we were the first people that came back to this kibbutz. It was the first people that came to this area. But what you can do here, when you are 2 civilians and 300-400 soldiers serve in this kibbutz, we decide that we start to feed the soldiers. And we open in our house a small barbecue place. We saw 10, 20, 30, 40 people will come every day. We got days of more than 200 people.
Yeah. Tell me where you now.
Yeah, I was one of them. I can tell you the problem. The food was too good. If you're going to make food this good, then many people will come.
I know times that people came from Gaza with tank until the fence, jump on the fence, run here, come to take a pita bread, few bit and salad and a few coke, and go back to the tank and continue fighting.
Thanks. Okay. There's a woman in a town called Ofakim that also got invaded.
A lot of the Israeli, the Jewish people, when they are happy, they feed someone. When they are sad,
they feed someone.
That's our behavior. The Irish do the same thing, that they drink when they sad. So
this woman in Rachel, she was held hostage for like 12 hours. When she came out, she started talking about which cookies she cooked for the terrorists to the media.
Would you now? No. My question now, after what happened, would you now have a weapon in your house?
No. I still don't have a weapon. I still believe that still the army. What happened is I can use with a gun. Rifle is not enough. We need a gun, and our government unfortunately doesn't give us a gun. So I must say, when we went outside in the 8th, I got a wounded terrorist on my door, and I used with a knife to kill him. So sometimes knife is quieter. We are here since 23. We're still doing it. We still feed the soldier and the volunteers that come to this kibbutz every Monday and every Friday. Just a second. We host only people that've been here in the 7th. Last Friday we sit with a son that both of his parents been murdered. With another guy that 2 of his brothers are still in Gaza. We start to build a community. We hope that we manage, but it's hard to build a community because a lot of our community come and go. Every week it can be in different people.
Let's continue the tour if you don't mind.
I just want to answer.
Why did the army take so long to come?
I really don't know. This is a question that we don't know.
So here's a demolished area, as you can see. The bombs has clearly wiped out here. This is a kibbutz, just 2 kilometers outside of the Gaza Strip. And yeah, as you can see, there was a reign of terror.
Snow weer mee aan de alle doen snow van meeting.
That's always at war. Shouldn't you always be in a state of readiness?
Only for the expected. There was an understanding which I think someone said. The conception. The conception was the belief by all the leadership that if you give enough money to Hamas in Gaza, that they would be comfortable, they wouldn't want to go to war with you. In other words, and they allowed for a lot of money from Qatar to flow into Hamas. They're building schools and providing food. Meanwhile, they were building tunnels and buying weapons. So the idea was that if you can kind of settle them down enough, materially, they would be comfortable, they wouldn't want to fight. And that was the prevailing view. So it was a complete surprise. Nobody ever thought that this was possible.
Okay, so when the first attack took place, why so many hours has gone by before the army was fully equipped? Isn't the army in a state of readiness always?
That's the investigation right now.
That's the investigation, is to just understand what happened.
Yeah.
But because it was so out of the realm of the possible, this scenario was never planned for.
Yeah.
So in fact, a lot of the army went to the north. They thought there could be an attack from the north. That's more likely.
Were they gay? I don't know.
We go now to what we call young adult neighborhood. People after the army start their life. A lot of students want to come here to live here because it's a nice
So
place.
you can see as we're moving on, we're moving into some wreckage here of what the terrorists really did here. I also just want you guys to note that Hamas them has not built any schools or hospitals. In the last 20 years, they have just built underground tunnels and terrorism camps. So yes.
We go to this direction. זוהר, בבקשה, שלך.
How can they say this didn't happen, but you can
Huh?
see evidence?
Hard
How can the media claim this never happened? Where's the evidence?
The media can say whatever she like. You know, you can take a picture of house that stay alive, like this one, and doesn't take a picture of this.
I mean, it's a kettle, it's no hake, yeah.
You can see the damage. To this house, you can go inside and just look on the bullet. Look on the floor, you see the grenade. Look on the ceiling, you see the blood, and you can see everything. Right now, 45% say that they will come.
Dit is nog goed wat toch ingeplak het, die wat kiekie.
Hulle nog gespan.
Ja, makkelijk nog kost gemaakt, hè. En die sleutel is nog in die deur.
Dit was onkan betrap. Hoe is het die deur die wachten op moeder? Hier was geslepen, je kan ze niet brengen. Hier was nog geslepen.
Yes.
Oh my God.
So yeah, this is the side that the media will never show us. And it is quite bad. You see the people's groceries are still in here. Look at the bullet wound. Hulle het nog 'n koekie by jou stof ingeplak. Die sleutels zijn nog in die deur. Look at the bullets on the roof though, eh? So they were shooting up as well. So you can see we are at a house that has been untouched since the bombing. As you can see, the bullet marks. This was the safe house. You see, as the safe house, you see it's untouched. This is where. Look at the roof.
Is hierdie safe house?
Ja.
Was mos weakness hier binne? Dis net die van die mense hoe is dit wat in die kat is.
Sorry, Lida, I'm live. I just want to go out.
Oh my God. Die hele muur is aan verbloed. Mense, die mos nie dak nie.
I think Lida Watson.
We just take in quickly. I can't give up here, but I mean, this really tells a story. That's a bullet hole. It shows the caliber of the bullet that was used to make the hole again. Right? So what will it do to a human being if it does that to a solid concrete wall? Can you understand?
Die van Vilo staan na die grenade geval.
You can see the grenade fell. People literally, their food was still in their cupboards. They didn't have a chance. The key's still in the door. So you tell me, how does the media not report on this?
And I tried to hold that. I tried to do it, and I got no power. No steady out. So the soldier has to push.
So mooi ketels en so alles.
Wait for 5-10 minutes because we crashed. I close times. I tell my wife, hold the handle for 5 minutes. That's it.
Yeah, I'll just smoke in the safe room. I can stay in the safe room. The smoke is coming in. I'm probably gonna die. I can go outside. The terrorist is waiting to shoot me.
Yeah, you got.
That's the choice.
You don't even.
So a lot of people have the understanding that you can lock the safe room.
No, you can. Now we got mean. We make from wood. Special wind locks from both sides of
The bullets on the walls.
There's a door frame, and you got it all on the end because you move. But no, it's now. It's happened day after the 7th, not day before.
Baie hartseer mense. Die media nie hierdie goed wys van ons nie. So you can hear the planes.
Right over the area.
Air Force.
Waarom val hy bomme daar?
You can literally hear the bombs fall here in Gaza. Bafana, we are live in Pretoria. Just tell the people what's going on here.
So on October 7th, as you can see here, there's the kibbutz. So a kibbutz, it's more of what they call those closed-in areas. And then the Hamas terrorists, just next to the Gaza is not that far, like a kilometer away from here. So when October 7th happened, they ambushed this place to kill. Nothing more, not to steal material, to kill. So what you find is that young people were killed, young boys were killed. You can see the bullets on the walls here. They even went as far as going into the shelters where people were hiding. Inside, started shooting and killing people. This is the reason why there's a war in Gaza. It started, and this is not just one kibbutz.
Thank you.
Coming back to that. So this is only one of the kibbutz. You will see now you're going to the Nova massacre where young people were just having a party, a festival. And then what happened? They stormed that party, closed in, killed over 400 young people in the party. This is the reason why there is a war in Gaza. Their ideology is to kill Jews because they believe Jews have no claim, have no right in this land. It's this Islamic radical ideology that has been transported.
Tell
This
me,
is wrong.
tell me, has Hamas built schools or hospitals?
No. Hamas only builds tunnels and buys bullets and guns. If you go to Gaza, before Hamas took over Gaza, Gaza was beautiful. Look at the pictures of Gaza before 2004, 2003. This is a beautiful place by the coastline. Today, it has become a war-torn area. And it's the people on the ground, the Palestinians, who are dying as a result of this. But to them, they are just stats that they can use to perpetuate this hatred of Jews.
Tell me, do they use soldiers, or who do they use in their army?
No,
or in the
there's no army in Gaza. There's no war zone in Gaza.
So they use children and
They're
women.
using children, they're shooting rockets in schools.
So they use women and children in the front line, and then they claim we are causing genocide, but they are the people that
As we say
are
today,
using the women and men.
you still have 50-something hostages in Gaza. If they really cared about their people, they would have long released the hostages and this war would have long stopped. So imagine not claiming a victim while you are holding on to hostages. And these are children. They killed the whole family, the Biba family. You still have old people. They still are holding on to dead bodies. Some don't even know why they're still alive or what in Gaza. What I'm saying is Palestinians at some point, I'm glad they've been doing it now. They've been revolting in Gaza against Hamas because they see that these people don't care about us. All they care about is destroying Israel. It's not about peace. It's not about freedom. It's about destroying Israel and pushing the Jews to the sea. Sadly, it will never happen. But who are suffering at the end of the day? Right now as we speak in Gaza, people are starving. As we speak in Gaza today, there is destruction. The world needs to wake up. This is not the cause of freedom or whatever. This is the cause of a nation, the only Jewish state in the world, defending itself to exist. Go back to history in this war, Shares. You realize that before 2000, there were no checkpoints, there were no barriers. People were going in and out, we were living together. Yes, there were politics, but it's only when suicide bombers started bombing up in buses, only when trouble and destruction happened, that the Israelis started imposing these things. They said to Israel, leave Gaza, we'll give you peace. Israel left Gaza completely and even took out the graves. What happened was that Hamas today's using Gaza as a launching base for their war, than to rebuild and keep to the promise of peace. Today they're using this as a base to kill, and as you can see, people died. 1,200 people died on October 7th. Over 250 were taken hostage.
Sure.
It's sad.
It's very sad.
My heart is with the Palestinian people because they are the ones who are the victims of all this nonsense.
So there's some of the victims, hostages. Are those hostages, leader?
No, these were killed.
Killed. All right, thank you so much.
Take a picture, they write everything in English, a lot of picture inside, you can go inside, try to understand what happened there. I just
Innocent people, in a 28-year-old, 31-year-old, a 65-year-old. Wat het die mense gedoen to deserve this?
Nee, ik weet. Nee.
Oh. Kijk maar, zie je hem zomaar? Look at this beautiful people, innocent people. Look at the bullets on the roof. These are the things the media does not show you. These are the things that people don't want to see, but we need to show people. Bridge, the walls.
Once you've taken a look, we're going to drop her down around this area.
Alright, how's it? Okay. That gets in the before.
Here's Gaza over there.
Over there? Yeah. Too many.
So if you can see over there, oh, let me just try zoom in there. So let me just give you an indication. There's Gaza right over there. You can hear the drones, you can hear the bombs falling.
2 kilometers from Gaza were the Patriots. There's Patriots.
Salute, salute. You can literally hear the bombings going off there in Gaza. You hear the drones, you hear the Air Force. Yeah, look at the destruction that was caused. People died, people are taken hostage. People said this never happened, but yet here we are, showing you guys. Did you hear the bomb right now? I'm live.
Can I ask something?
Yeah, just a second. So, the bus was supposed to be here.
Yes, it's coming.
Oh.
What I want to ask is this fence prior to November 7th.
October 7th.
October 7 was the fence, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So how did they jump the fence?
They broke the gate.
Is your wife still here with us?
Yeah.
So you guys can see some of the victims. Like you hear, the Palestinians are also starting to revolt against Hamas because they are realizing that Hamas is bringing more terror, a terror reign, than trying to bring peace. So yes. So yeah. Patriots. We are going to move into Gaza now. I will make a part 2 if the signal allows. But yes, I will show you guys more of what we see through our eyes. If you didn't know, now you know. Please tune in the next 10 to 20 minutes as we will be going into Gaza. Yes, Mini Baizani. And if you didn't know, now you know. Pew, pew, pew.
Part to help. Another bomb shelter here on the left. Again, you notice these stickers are soldiers, members of the kibbutz, civilians who were killed since October 7th. Shalom. Look straight ahead of us as we're turning. You can see a sign that says Kerem Shalom. Kerem Shalom is the name of the border crossing in between Israel and the Gaza Strip, where tons and tons of food and medical supplies and everything were sent into Gaza every day prior to October 7th as they were shooting rockets at us. As Hamas in their charter says we're going to kill every single Jew. What were we doing? We were sending in tons, literally tons and tons and tons of food, of fuel. We were generating power for the Gaza Strip. You know what happened to this border crossing? This border crossing we used to send humanitarian aid into Gaza. You know what happened to it on October 7th? They used that crossing to come and kill us. The crossing that was built in order to facilitate getting more goods into Gaza was used to come and kill Jews here in Israel. Not just Jews, to kill Israelis here in Israel. Now, of course, the whole world is saying, why don't you give more humanitarian aid to Gaza? Of course, what happened the last time we were giving humanitarian aid to Gaza? They used the crossing to come and kill us. You can understand the impossible situation that we're in here. Folks, you can see this nice picture here on the right, this small picture. What do you notice? In the middle of it, there's a bomb shelter.
Just is weg. Hij is weg, dat is met mij maar rijden. Dat is allemaal Max Stedel van.
Okay, we're here now in another kibbutz Nachal Oz.
גם להם יש את ההבטחה. This is how I grew up, in the kibbutz. Are you live?
היי.
ויכוח עם הצבא?
אוי, זה לא עם הצבא, זה לא הצבא.
אושרית, נכון אנשים?
נכון, נכון.
Okay, folks, it's my pleasure to introduce Oshrit, who's a resident of kibbutz Nachal Oz, where we are right now. She's going to be guiding us through our time.
לא, אתה נוסע שמאלה בכיכר? אין בעיה. Hi everyone, welcome. Welcome to my home, to Nachal Oz. You are right now at one of the closest communities to the Gaza Strip border. You just came from Kfar Aza, so it's more or less the same. We are just a little bit closer. You've already heard all the atrocities that happened in Kfar Aza on October 7th. So I'm here. I will tell you, of course, about what happened in Nachal Oz shortly. And you're more than welcome to ask me all the difficult questions you have about the Middle East. I am, just a second, I'll just show the driver where to go. אתה ממשיך פה ישר, בכיכר, לפני הפרות, אני רוצה שתעצור רגע, אנחנו נסביר משהו על האוטובוס מול השער האחורי, בסדר? בכיכר אתה ממשיך ישר, ואתה עוצר ממש, עוצר כזה על הכביש, אבל אי אפשר, זה חסום.
לא, אני אעמוד שם באזור.
כן, תעמוד שם באזור כדי שיוכלו לראות את השער הצהוב. בסדר? So as your guide said, I'm a resident of kibbutz Nachal Oz. I'm a member of the kibbutz. I've lived here for the last 23 years of my life, and I also hold a master's in Middle Eastern studies, so you can ask me really whatever you want. We're going to stop here for a second. So October 7th in Nachal Oz, just like any other place, started at 6:30 in the morning, around 6:30. We've heard, I'm sorry, I must keep my phone on, because if there's any alert, the army gives me, calls me or sends me a message. פה זה בסדר? רק לא על ה... רק לא על ה... לא, 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 לא לפחד. So, 6:30 in the morning, I was in my house, which is in the center of the kibbutz, and what I heard were very loud explosions and many alarms. I got up very fast and I ran with my husband to my children's room, my children's bedroom. They live in their bedroom is a bomb shelter. You probably heard in Kfar Aza that every house here has a bomb shelter attached to it. One of the bedrooms is a bomb shelter. We call it the safe room. And and most of the families keep the children there, okay? The children sleep there. So my husband and I ran into the safe room with our dogs. We closed the door and we waited for it to finish, you know. We know rocket attacks in Israel, we know rocket attacks here. I've been asked in the last month a few times, how many rocket attacks have I encountered in 23 years? And I really cannot say, but I can tell you that it was more than tens of thousands, okay? Only October 7th, we had about 2,000 rockets here. So I cannot tell you how many I've encountered, but it's a lot. So we're used to it, and we were waiting for it to finish. But that day was different than all the other days. First of all, the bombardment was very massive, and secondly, it was very close to our houses, okay? Now, I pray for you that you will never feel a bomb that is landing a few meters from you, because it makes your entire soul shake. It's something that I cannot describe, and I hope you will never know how it feels, but it just didn't stop. It was just one after the other, and it was very close. Sometimes when Hamas just wants to fool around, they will send rockets to the fields or something like that. But this time it was really inside the neighborhoods, as they do, you know, from time to time. Really inside the neighborhoods, very close to our homes. Around 6:45 in the morning, I turned the news on and I saw pickup trucks in Sderot roaming the streets of Sderot, and I held my head and I said, oh my God, if this is what is happening in Sderot, which is about 15 kilometers from the border, what on earth is happening in my kibbutz? Now, the reason I brought you to this neighborhood is because the first wave of terrorists, we had 3 waves that came, okay? Now, Nahal Oz is an exceptional case, and I will explain why. When Hamas divided the squads to go to different communities, they sent the number of squads or people that were sent into the community was calculated according to the size of the community, okay? If it's a big community, they sent more squads in, okay? So let's say that the city of Sderot had 60 terrorists that entered. Kibbutz Nahal Oz, who has less than 500 people, had 300 to 350 that entered the kibbutz. Our luck, or even miracle that day, okay, was one of them was that they came in 3 different waves. They didn't come at once, they came in 3 different waves. And there was another miracle that I will explain later as we go on. This neighborhood was the first one to be attacked. If you look at the gate over there, where is it? There it is, the yellow gate. This is the gate leading to our crop fields. If you come to the gate and look to the fields, you will see the Gaza Strip very close to you. Our farmers, actually, we say that we plow to the final furrow. Okay, they work till the border, and the first attack came from here, from this gate, and it came straight to this neighborhood. The reason it came straight to this neighborhood, there are 2 reasons. The first one is that they had intelligence, they had information, and the head of security in our kibbutz lived in this neighborhood. So we know that in most of the places, they went straight to the head of security's house. The second reason was that the army base, the Nahal Oz army base, where the lookout girls were murdered and kidnapped from, which is right next to us. Okay, it's right next to Nahal Oz. You didn't see it because the road you drove through the trees. When they realized that the civilians are being attacked, they sent the only tank they had to guard the other side of the kibbutz. So this is the other reason why in the first wave they didn't come to the front gate, only here. Now, I didn't know what was going on. You know, each of us was in his own shelter, and I started getting messages from friends from around here. One of the mothers that lived next to the front gate of the kibbutz, her son, her 12-year-old son, went jogging in the morning. As all hell broke loose, she called the head of security and she said to him, "You must go get the boy. Go get the boy." Ilan, the head of our security, came over here. He found young Ariel. He didn't have time to go back to bring him to his family, so he put him with his own wife and children. As he turned back to go to Bethel, he was brutally murdered. We know that it was very brutal because it took us days to identify the body. And there was a teenager in one of the houses right here that as the attack started, she went to close the shutters of her house, and we didn't understand why, but 5 months after October 7th, she wouldn't leave her house, the place we were evacuated to. It took us 5 months to understand that she saw that murder through the shutters. We're gonna continue and hear the rest of the story, and we're gonna go out and down from the bus. I will have to ask you two things. One, your safety is the most important thing. You are in a, very close to a war zone, and actually a war zone. So, what do you need to do? You need to look at me, okay? If you hear an explosion or anything like that, just look at me. After 23 years, you develop a year of your ears are like a general's ears, okay? I can tell you if it's coming in, if it's going out, just look at me. If there's any reason to take shelter, I will show you what to do, okay? If we have a bomb shelter next to us, we go there. If not, we go on the ground and we cover our heads. Nothing should happen today. There aren't any warnings. This whole trip is coordinated by the army. You shouldn't worry, but you need to know what to do in case anything happens. The second thing I will ask you is not to take photographs of the houses. We will look at the neighborhoods from a respectful distance. The families in Nahal Oz, we really respect their privacy, and it's very hard to see your house on social media after that or things like that. Those are families that became famous without really wanting it.